Hello everybody and welcome to another rendition of WXR, the Wrestling Xpound Radio. I'm your host for this one, Chris, aka The Mole, and hot off the heels of Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, we're going to be evaluating and discussing the Elimination Chamber matchup itself throughout all the Elimination Chambers that have been. Joining me for this one is Marcus Shadow.
Yo.
And James Phoenix.
Yellow.
Also, we may be joined by the Fallen Angel and the Queen of Hearts if they have anything to add. So with that said, let's discuss the matchup. The matchup that was conceived, at least on TV, it was conceived as a cross between the War Games and Hell in a Cell by Eric Bischoff. And yeah, basically it's a matchup in which 4 competitors start in pods around the ring, 2 wrestle in the ring, and every couple of minutes or so, boom, the chambers open up randomly and they come out and fight. So yeah, let's discuss these. Your thoughts, first of all, James Phoenix.
I think it's a very clever match type. It's certainly very unique. It's certainly very devastating. I think it's something that is really an entertaining match. And I think, for those unaware, we're recording this on the night of Sunday the 23rd, so we did just finish watching the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view of 2014.
That's what Mole said.
No, all he did was introduce the match type.
Continue. Whatever.
I'm sorry, do you have to bitch about everything?
No, only when you blatantly ignore the host.
I didn't blatantly ignore the host, but anyway. What the hell was I saying?
You were saying we just watched the pay-per-view and...
Yes.
Go.
Right, I think... Yes, Elimination Chamber is a really exciting, fun match to watch. And it's one of those things you can look forward to because unlike some of the other matches that they pull out every so often, Elimination Chamber pretty much is guaranteed to only happen once per year. So you know that it's something special you get to see. You know it's something to look forward to before WrestleMania. It's chilling out a unique place for itself in the company. I do also think that I know we had discussions before regarding pay-per-views around match types. I think this is the one match type that actually warrants its own pay-per-view. For the reason of it being such a big, unique, ridiculous, not ridiculous, but such an extravagant thing, I think it warrants having its own pay-per-view, and it's just the one match, the main event, and I think that makes sense. It's pretty cool, and I've always enjoyed the match. I think it's something that there's such a variety of things you can do, unique things that don't happen in any other match happen in there, and I think it's just really fun to watch. I think it's something that was a great idea, great creation, and I think it's done WWE well in the years that they've had it so far.
And fair enough. And how about you, Marcus Shadow?
I agree. It's very unique. I like what they've done to make it unique. It's a unique version of like a Hell in a Cell cage match type thing, which is kind of cool. And it's a way to get a lot of people effectively under a cage, but keep it kind of controlled. So, I mean, I think it's a brilliant match. Now, if only they could get it to work right in the video game.
And fair enough. I will say, I think it was a brilliant... I enjoyed the match when they first created it and stuff. I don't really look forward to it as much now. Because when they first created it, and similar to the Hell in a Cell issue, if they created the Elimination Chamber, and it was just an Elimination Chamber, the second I started forcing it before WrestleMania, and now you get a load of feuds going in there with the champion, and 9 times out of 10, you can tell who's going to be the champion beforehand, and yeah, you can only tell who's going to win the matchup. So it's a case of, you know what I mean? It's less enjoyable than like when they did it. Like, I think the first one they did, well, one of them they did at like SummerSlam and shit. So
yeah, but that's kind of WWE's MO these days is predictability.
Sadly, yes. I will say, in regards to your comment on the video game, I think it works just fine in the video game as long as you're not trying to make it a tag team match. I think there's a very good reason why in real life WWE has never had an Elimination Chamber tag team match.
See, I would like it if they'd done the 3v3 Elimination Chamber, like the game, because I enjoyed that match type in the game, and that should have been what the Wyatts v Shield was.
That would have been very good. I agree. But the only problem with that is the issue of if they had actually randomized it, because that is a fault of the game in the tag version, is that it's the same exact order that the people come out anytime you do it. There's no random option. So you know exactly who's going to come out, and you know that 9 times out of 10, the team in the 1, 3, 5 slots are going to have the advantage because they're going to come out first and always have the numbers game. And I think that's kind of wrong. I think there needs to be a random option, so it varies which person actually comes out.
And I could agree with that, but I'd still like to see one, like Wyatt v. Shield. That would have been awesome.
I agree. It would be awesome if it was actually random and not just, predictable which guys are going to come out. Then, yes, I think it would be a great match.
Yeah. I also think at this point we need to eliminate the World Championship from the Chamber.
Eliminate. I see what you did there.
Yeah. But, no, I think we need to eliminate it from there because, it's WrestleMania. I'm sorry, I prefer it when it was like No Way Out and stuff, and the matchup you'd get there would be like, say, the WWE champion and someone else, the challenger and someone else in like a tag team match. You got like a preview going into WrestleMania or something. Whereas the Chamber, it's like, you know who's going to win it. It should be, if that was for like the Intercontinental or the US, that could get like younger guys or guys lower down on the card or something over instead of having to use it the same way every time. Because a lot of the like Intercontinental people and stuff are guys like Kofi Kingston and stuff like that who like to jump off shit and do all these big spectacle stuff, but they don't really have a push. A matchup like this, like what TLC was originally created on Money in the Bank, is a great way of showcasing them, because you can have like Kofi and shit jumping off the fucking Chamber like you had Christian at tonight's pay-per-view, and using the selling in unique ways like RVD did when he started to climb along the top and stuff. It'd be fun.
I agree.
I also agree.
I'd also like to see more than one chamber match in the Elimination Chamber. I have to say that is one thing I was disappointed in with them getting rid of the second world title, is the fact that now it's down to one chamber match.
You want to see you want to see two chambers or another chamber inside the Elimination Chamber? Is that like chamberception?
No, have 3 chambers and make it WWE's version of that triple cell match in WCW.
Yeah.
War Games.
Yeah, War Games.
No. He's on about the triple cell when it was one Hell in a Cell on top of another on top of another. War Games was 2 Hell in a Cells side by side with 2 rings. Pretty awesome. You'll look forward to that when you see the WCW War Game DVD. It's coming out. Which, that match type was awesome. But at least that's what I would like to see from the Chamber. But since we're just evaluating the Chamber and stuff, which would you say was your favourite Chamber match? If you can remember one.
I'd probably say the original one. I don't remember the actual match. I just remember it because it had the fanfare behind it, and it had Bischoff being like, I've come up with this new match idea, and this is what it is. And when they unveiled it, it was like, holy shit, that's going to be awesome.
Yep. That also had that's probably my one as well, if it's the one I'm thinking of, because it also had the benefit of stuff like HBK in it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, yeah.
Which, HBK inside the Chamber, enough said. But how about you, Jim?
Thinking back to good chambers, I would say I have a tie.
Just like Kane.
Exactly. And I would say it's a tie between the chamber in which Edge lost the World Heavyweight title, and then the chamber later that night when he beat up a dude, inserted himself, and won the WWE title. That was awesome.
That was a great moment. And I will say, my favourite moment from Elimination Chamber matchups, ironically, does involve Edge. I loved it when the cell got raised and Edge cashed in Money in the Bank for the first time.
That's true. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
But the only downside to the Chamber is, normally when they have the Chamber matchups, I'm waiting to see if it's happened this time. But a few times they've had the Chamber matchups and it's guys falling onto the steel and doing all these big bumps on steel and stuff. They end up getting injured. it's almost like a way of injuring your superstars, which means it could be a little too dangerous to keep using it.
It might be. I mean, if anything, I'm thinking if Cesaro getting F5 or FU, whatever the fuck Cena's move is on the damn Steel's probably going to put him out for a week or two.
Yep, and I will say, since we are joined, as we all know, by the Queen of Hearts, Tiff, who this was her first time watching an Elimination Chamber, which is awesome. What did you think of the match type from what you'd seen tonight? Since it would be kind of cool to get a new person's perspective.
I thought it was interesting, although they kind of maybe chipped Daniel Bryan out of getting the title match and still have the heel for what's the word I'm looking for? The title person, I guess, for the lack of any better words.
Champion?
Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, but I mean, and the Wyatts coming out, that was, that was interesting as well.
And it was. But what did you think of the concept about the 4 people in the pods and all the metal and stuff?
Well, actually, I didn't quite understand the whole Elimination Chamber thing. Well, I mean, it's in the name in itself. However, the concept was a little off for me because considering this would be the first time that I watched it, I didn't understand that there was 2 other people. I just saw 4 people in a chamber, in each of their little own chambers. And I'm like, okay, are they coming out one by one? Like, how does this work? And then somebody explained it to me, and it's like, oh, okay, light bulb.
Yeah, I will say that's understandable, because up until the last year or two, WWE before the chamber would have someone in the ring with a microphone who would tell you the rules of the chamber and tell you how it was going to work and stuff. And then it's almost like WWE's just given up on getting new people to watch it. Now it's like, nah, fuck it, you know how it works.
Yeah, they wouldn't make it that easy, would they?
Michael Cole wasn't nice enough to read us off the stats of the chamber.
He was. He read off the stats, just not how it works. which I'm sure a new person like the Queen of Hearts watching really gives a crap how many winners there's been as opposed to how do they win.
Yeah. And
this is why the Queen of Hearts needs to buy 2K14 so she can play Elimination Chamber matches with us.
Well, in order to play 2K14, I need a game console, and I don't have either.
PlayStation 3s are dirt cheap now that PS4s are out.
And
I'll have to look into it then.
And if you were interested in buying the Queen of Hearts or PS3, leave your details below.
Oh, yeah.
Hashtag give your money to Tiff.
Zinga.
Hey, you never know. There could be someone out there that's like a load of gamers that are like, oh my god, it's a girl, I must buy her console.
Yeah. There's probably not a lot of them. There's probably not a lot of them out there that are considering, oh, well, there's a girl who's actually giving her opinion on this stuff. It's like, what? Like, what is the world coming to?
Well, they're fine with that. They just realize, wait, she's Queen of Hearts. Crap, there's not I'm running Canadian dollars. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
That's easy. It's like $1,000 equals $1 Canadian dollar. I kid. But no.
I can't tell which currency that was insulting.
You'll never know. But no, I was going to say, I will say, Elimination Chamber-wise, one thing I thought was an interesting concept, piss poorly executed. Does anyone remember the Extreme Chamber?
No.
Extreme Chamber.
No.
From the ECW pay-per-view where they gave you the ECW brand its own chamber, and they put a load of horrible guys in it, but it was basically, the concept was the same thing as Elimination Chamber, but round the side of the chamber on the metal, they'd like stuck a load of weapons like kendo sticks and tables and chairs and stuff like that. So while you're in the chamber, you could also then pull them off and use them as weapons and stuff, which that was a kind of cool concept. Poorly executed because of the people in it and how they booked the match. But I honestly believe if you had that type of matchup with guys like one of like the early Elimination Chambers and stuff where they had like Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho, Triple H, or even the one we had tonight with Christian, Sheamus, fucking Randy Orton and stuff, and the other people and stuff like that, it would be a case of that would be interesting, because you could totally see, like, Sheamus pulling a table off and doing, like, the fucking high cross or Celtic cross or Pale Justice to Christian through a table, or you could see, like, Randy Orton grabbing someone as they had the chair and doing an RKO onto the chair or something, you know what I mean? Which means that would be a cool concept. They need to bring that back and just use it right.
Yeah, I agree. That'd be kind of interesting. Like you said, they just have to book it right and put the right people in the match, or it's going to be a boring ass match.
Yep. It's like, I believe, and I know when I say I believe, that means Jim's fingers are ready to Google it. I believe the first one was won by, I think it was won by Test. It may have been someone else, but I know Test was in it. Which, the fact Test was considered a caliber of the superstar in this, as much as I like Test, may he rest in peace, he didn't deserve, he's not like Shawn Michaels, or he's not, if you want to go big guys, he's not Nash or Kane or Undertaker. Which, that was the downside to that, you know what I mean? But,
I thought you were going to say you believe in the Shield.
Yeah. But, overall, if I had to rate the matchup, and then I'll let you guys do the same, I'm probably going to go with I'm going to go with a 7 out of 10, only because of what it's become. How about you guys?
I don't exactly have a number rating, because this is the first time I've seen an elimination match, so I can't really give it a distinct rating.
That's easy. If you don't know a number, just say like a number between 1 and 10, and then out of, and then insert an object, and everyone will laugh. Like 5 out of table. Old school reference.
May he rest in peace.
I thought it was an actual joke, and I was going to come up with 6 out of steel chair.
That would work too. I can't remember what that came from. What did that come from when we said like 5 out of table? So it was one of our old videos.
I don't remember.
Or it was from the YouTube to translate. But anyway, how about you, Jim?
Turbo Power Rangers movie. That's where it came from.
Oh, okay. And how about you, Jim?
I don't know. We're rating the match overall or tonight's particular match?
Overall.
Overall, I would say the elimination chamber match. I would say, I don't know, 7, 8 out of 10, somewhere in that area. Maybe let's say 7.5. We'll break even. 7.5 out of 10. It's a great match type. There are sort of some setbacks. Obviously, guys getting injured, like we mentioned earlier. That's always a big risk when you're covered in 16 tons of steel, I believe.
I believe so. It's something like that.
So, however many foot of chain. You can look up the stats. They're online. Anyway,
yeah, it's something like 10 feet of chains, 30 tons of steel, or something ridiculous.
Yeah, something exaggerated. Yeah, anyway. But, yeah, basically, it's a great match, but it is, of course, dangerous to the guys. At least they were at least smart enough to replace the glass with plastic this time. Or at least the last few times. But it's a dangerous match, so there's some setbacks to that. And because you're in the confined space, there is some limitations on what the guys can do. But overall, it is usually a great match. Of course, the predictability being a downside. But it is usually a great match, even if you know who's going to win. It's usually a great match. And usually great suspense. Like tonight, I legitimately thought Daniel Bryan was going to win a couple of times there. So they got me anyway. And it's usually a fun match. I think it's entertaining. It's something to look forward to as being something that the champion has to get past to make it to WrestleMania. And inevitably, there's got to be a champion that's going to lose in that thing before WrestleMania. It has to inevitably happen.
I think it has happened before now.
Has it? All right.
But I think it was like one of the ones Cena won it in. But yeah.
Oh well, of course it happened. Fucking Edge. I said it earlier.
No.
Twice actually.
Yeah, but yeah, but I will.
Yeah, I'd say 7.5 out of 10.
Okay, so how about you, Marcus?
I'll just agree with you and say 7 out of 10. It had a great beginning. It's a great concept. It's kind of gone downhill, both with predictability and other things, the way they book it, all that crap.
You just
It still has
described the TV show Heroes.
Pretty much.
Coming back for a brand new 13-episode miniseries.
Exactly. It was a relevant pop culture reference.
Aha.
But, the match type still has potential, I think. But then again, on the flip side, that says it all when a match type that's been around for as long as the Elimination Chamber has, the best you can say about it is it still has potential.
Yep.
Yeah.
So 7 out of 10.
I'm still waiting for the day when they decide, fuck it, we did it with the cell. Let's have a guy break through a wall of this thing and climb on top of it. I'm waiting for that to happen.
I don't think that will happen because of the shape and stuff and the height and all that.
True.
Well, that was our discussion or look at the Elimination Chamber match as a match. This may have been a shorter WXR than usual, but stay tuned for our next one next week, in which we interview James Phoenix. I was your host, Quiz, aka The Mole. See ya.